Hi, I'm Teja. I'm a developer relations engineer for Harness STO. And in this video, we're going to look how you can configure and set up RBAC permissions for STO specific features. So we're going to do this at the account scope first, and then we look at the project scope where you can do the same at the organization scope as well. So here I am at the account settings, and from there, I'm going to go into access control. And from there, we're going to focus on resource group and roles. So this video expects you to have an understanding about the resource group and roles components which are part of Harness RBAC. And we're going to talk about the STO specific resources and the STO specific permissions at which you can apply those permissions to the resources and then apply these togetherly to the user groups or the users. So let's start with resource groups, and from there you can quickly create a new resource group. And from there I'm going to go ahead and just do a demo STO resource group, make it as test and save this. So here I am inside the resource group that I just created, and from here you can just see that you can set the scope of the resources. One is account only. When you choose account only, you'll be able to see the resources that are actually available only at the account scope. In case of STO, you see the security orchestration part where you see issues and exemption resources at the account only. So issues is currently work in progress at the time of the video recording, but soon it will be released. And when you go and actually change from account only to all, including organizations and projects, and when you go further and get into the security orchestration part, you should be able to see the couple more resources that are actually part of organization and project level, but not in the account level. So that is where you have much more granular control to choose at account only or all organizations and the projects. So you can drag and drop to add this all, or you can choose specifically what to add or remove. And then from there, you have added all the resources to your resource group. So let's quickly save this. So if you now provide this resource group to any users or user groups, they will have access to all of these STO resources. But then what about the permissions? What actions they can apply on each of these resources? Where can you configure all of them? So that is where roles come into the play. So let's get back to access control, and from there switch to roles. Let's go ahead. Here we are in the roles page. STO actually ships two default roles which you can utilize and actually apply it to the users or user groups along with the resource groups. But then here you have these two things which are shipped by default. So we have AppSec role and the developer role. You can get into the developer role and just move to the security orchestration component, and from there you can see what permissions are actually provided or what permissions are actually part of this specific role. So specific to developer, this role doesn't allow the developer to delete the external tickets and doesn't allow to actually approve or reject their own or any of the exemptions. So, but if you go for the security testing AppSec role and then just get into the security orchestration, that is where you'll be able to see the security testing AppSec role will have permissions, including the delete option for external tickets, along with approve and reject at the exemptions level. So these roles is something that comes up with the default where you can directly use it and start applying for the users or the user groups. But then if you choose to create your own, you can just click on new role and then just say STO dev role and then just say save. I'm going to recreate the security testing developer role just to show you how you can create it by yourself. You just get into security orchestration, and I want a developer to have view access to the issues and view, create, edit for the external tickets, but not delete, scan view, test target, view, create, edit, and exemptions view and create and edit, but not approve or reject. So here you select anything else if you wanted to have it as a part of the security testing developer role. So let's go ahead and actually apply changes. So here you have successfully created a role that you can use and apply it for a user or a user group. So let's go back to access control, get into user groups. So you can just create a new user group, stating out like STO devs user group, and then just add the users. Probably I'll just add myself and then a few others and then just save it. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on manage role bindings. This is where you have the option to actually set the roles and the resource groups. So I'm going to go set the role, which I just created, the STO dev role, and then the resource is going to be STO resource group test, and then just apply changes. So now These two users will now have access to all the resources part of the resource group, along with the set of permissions which are very specific to developer role to perform only those actions. So this is how you can configure and manage RBAC permissions specific to STO features. Thank you.